Today we'll be ranking the lands from our least to most favorite at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Hello and welcome to the Let's Go to Disney podcast. I'm Oliver.
And I'm Lucy.
Today is Sunday, December 14th, and you're listening to episode 118, Ranking the Lands at Animal Kingdom. Before we get into today's main topic, here's what's going on in the parks right now. Disney shared the official closing date for Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith ahead of the Muppets retheme coming in 2026. The attraction is officially going to close on March 2nd, meaning that your last day to experience it in its current form is going to be March 1st of 2026. So I'm there in like 3 weeks' time.
You are, yes.
On January 5th for the marathon weekend, as many of you know. So I'm definitely going to be checking that out for the last time before, the retheme, because I'm not going to be there again before it starts.
Absolutely. And like we had mentioned, I think in a couple episodes ago or the last episode, they've already gotten rid of like the pre-show ramble with Aerosmith. So it is still Rock and Roller Coaster, but that ramble that you see at the beginning is gone.
It's on its last legs.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
They are already starting to do the re-theming, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know exactly when it's going to reopen, but March 2nd. And then Disney Imagineering also shared a reel on their social pages this week showcasing a big milestone in the Tropical Americas themed land coming to Animal Kingdom. So they've officially gone vertical. Okay, so the construction of the show building that's going to house the Casita attraction has been erected, or some of it anyway. The very, very base, like the first steel pieces is what they showed in the reel are erected. So what that means is that basically, now when we get aerial views of the land, we're going to actually see something, not just dirt being moved around. So
very exciting.
Exactly. It's progress, right? So
absolutely.
It's good things. For us, like we said last week, it's the last push before the Christmas holidays. We have one more week of work and the kids have one more week of school before the break. Lucy's actually going to work on the 22nd and 23rd, but I'm off as of the 22nd with the kids. My sister and brother-in-law are actually going to get in from Ontario this Sunday on the 21st, or I say today is Sunday, so in a week from today, essentially. So it's definitely going to be nice to have them over the holiday. It's actually going to be the first Christmas that my sister and I are spending together in like a really long time.
Since you were kids.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm really looking forward to that. We're pretty much ready for the holiday now, at least more than we were this time last week.
Yeah, absolutely. We wrapped up some of our shopping this week, and we did a big grocery yesterday, and we picked up most of the things that we'll need for our planned menus over Christmas week, which is nice to get that out of the way.
Yeah, agreed.
We're going to actually have to get some wrapping done at some point this week as well, and just getting those last minute things ready for the house before Oliver's sister and her husband, our brother-in-law, get in. And actually, my sister's husband is here right now this week on course, so that'll be nice. We're going to have him over for supper on Tuesday. So we're getting to see a little bit of family that we don't see often. So it's nice actually this week.
Yeah, exactly.
Lots of family.
I'm going out with one of a good friend of mine on Wednesday. So we're trying
to season.
Exactly, just cram everything in. Yeah.
And like Oliver said, we are really looking forward to having his sister and her husband here with us. And the kids are actually really excited about this too. My parents actually went up to Whitehorse to be with my sister and her family for Christmas this year. So we're very happy to host Oliver's sister and her husband.
Yeah, exactly.
And we are hoping that you are all getting all of your things done that you need to get done before the holidays. It's always that crunch time, just trying to fit everything in. I was just saying to Oliver, this week is theme week at school. So I literally have to be on the ball with what each day is for the last 5 days of school.
And I'm sure some of you have seen these reels, which are hilarious. It's like, oh, we know you're busy with, shopping and wrapping and all the things.
Cooking.
And here you go, a theme thing for every single day of this week.
You know what? I will say thank gosh for the dollar stores where you can get a lot of these items for the kids that they need, and then they're happy and it's just easier.
And of course it's fun for the kids, but it's just one more thing. Yeah.
But we are looking forward to just kind of the last push this week and then getting into that holiday spirit where we're just going to slow it down a little bit and just spend some time with friends. Yeah.
Totally.
We got lots of plans to just chill.
Relax.
And I'm really looking forward to it.
Me too. Yep.
And of course, we're hoping that everybody listening also gets to have some relaxing time as well.
Yeah, crunch time this week so that you can relax.
Yes,
Christmas week.
Absolutely.
And kind of on that same note, we it's that time of year and I'm feeling a little sappy. So I want to thank you guys for tuning into us week in and week out. If you've been here since the start, that's awesome. And if you're just joining us, well, welcome. We appreciate more than you know. But with that, let's get into today's main topic. So we will be ranking each of the lands at Disney's Animal Kingdom from least to most favorite. And it's actually funny because we recorded last week. I said we were wrapping up that series and completely forgetting about little old Animal Kingdom, which is blasphemy because I absolutely love this park.
We love Animal Kingdom. We truly, it has such a special place in our heart.
Yeah.
We love it.
So it's actually wrapping up this week with Animal Kingdom. So it's actually wrapping up this week with Animal Kingdom. So Animal Kingdom, despite its uniqueness, like as a park, given the attractions that are there, it still has the traditional Disney park design with kind of the central hub and then the lands that kind of break off from there. The hub in this park is Discovery Island, which also has the Weenie, which is the Tree of Life. Oasis is the Main Street USA of the park, where you kind of need to walk through it to get to the rest of the park. Then clockwise, you have Pandora, World of Avatar, Africa, Rafiki's Planet Watch, which is kind of like a branch off
tucked
of
all the
Africa.
way in the back.
Yeah.
It's probably missed by a lot of people.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, 100%. And we'll talk about that. And then you also have Asia and then Dino Land USA, which is soon to be reimagined into that Tropical Americas themed land, featuring 2 Encanto themed attractions, right? We know that. And a retheme of the dinosaur attraction into Indiana Jones. We should also mention quickly that not technically part of any land because it's actually outside of the park, but there's a Rainforest Cafe just to the left of like the main entrance as you're making your way towards Animal Kingdom before the touch points, right? And then there's also actually a Joffrey's cart on your right there, which is great if you're, it's not going to be open, I think, for rope drop.
It's never been open for rope drop.
Yeah, because it's so early.
That's right.
But if you're coming in like later in the morning or on your way out and you want to grab a coffee, it's right there, which is kind of nice to have. And that's, like I said, that's outside the park.
Yes, absolutely. And just like we did with the other ranking episodes, we're going to go from least to most favorite and why. So we're going to start this off with number 7, which is Oasis. So Oasis, like Oliver said, is basically the area at the very front of the park that leads you to Discovery Island, which is the hub. There's actually not a lot in Oasis, and unlike the other parks, there's heavy foliage and trees here, so it kind of makes it impossible to see the rest of the park from the front area. And Discovery Island doesn't come into view until you are pretty much right in it at that point.
Yeah.
So when you first walk into the park, you have guest relations and locker rentals on your left, and then Garden Gate gifts on your right. This is the PhotoPass center for the park where you can view and buy your photos, rent strollers and ECVs. And of course, they do have some merchandise to purchase here as well.
Yeah, that's right. And as you make your way into the land, you have a few kind of animal viewing areas that are just interwoven, I guess, into the walkways around the area. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's like you really can't see anything because, it's just trees and like
just
bush,
lots
right?
of trees.
Yeah, but there is like animal enclosures within there that, you can see. There's anteaters, boar, barking deer, wallabies, spoonbills, and other species of birds as well. And among the walkways here is actually where you might also be able to see Divine. Okay, so she is, she's a cast member on stilts. She's fully camouflaged with like leaves and flowers and like her face is painted green. It's hard to put into words. You can Google a photo of her and some of you have probably know exactly what I'm talking about because you've seen her or you've seen videos or photos of her. But yeah, either way, she usually hangs out in that walkway around Oasis near the front of the park.
Yeah, that's right. We don't see her every single time either, but we have. So just all depends.
Yeah, exactly.
And then coming in at number 6, we've got Rafiki's Planet Watch. So to access this section of the park, you actually have to take the Wildlife Express train. The station is located in the Harambe area of the African portion of this park. And then the train ride gives you some behind the scenes looks at some of the care facilities for the animals that live at Animal Kingdom. And if you've ever watched the Magic of Disney's Animal Kingdom on Disney Plus, you're actually going to recognize some of these areas for sure because they do appear on the show. And then the whole ride on that train is about 7 minutes and 1.2 miles.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a great little train ride.
It is, yeah, like absolutely. And like you said, like there's some areas back there that are, it's like a peek behind the curtain, so to speak.
It's very cool.
Yeah. And then actually when you get to the land and you get off the train, the main building, you're going to see veterinary facilities where actually cast members that, care for the animals and do some of the vet work at the park work there. And there's like glass and you can kind of see what they're up to.
Mm-hmm.
There's also an area where you're going to see some of the meal preparation for some of the species of animals as well, which is pretty cool. You also have some displays that tell you kind of more about just conservation efforts, right? And scientific research that's ongoing there as well. And there's, of course, animal viewing areas here where you can see amphibians, reptiles, and invertebrates. So things like snakes and things like that.
Yeah, that's right. And then in here, you also have the animation experience where you're actually going to be able to draw a Disney character from a Disney animator. The experience lasts about 25 minutes or so, and it's offered on a rotational basis every 45 minutes or so throughout the day. Depending on when you're there, the character you draw will rotate. You'll be given everything you need, so just you need to show up and then take part in it.
Yeah, exactly. And then just outside of that building, you have the affection section where you're going to be able to actually interact and, pet some of the animals that are there, like goats and sheep, among a few others. There's hand washing stations there as well for obvious reasons, right? Because you're going to be essentially touching live animals, right? So it's important to wash your hands. So that's there for that purpose. And we'll be honest, we rarely venture out to Rafiki's Planet Watch like at all. Our kids actually love it here. But even on our last trip with them, we actually didn't make the trek out here. And when it's just me and you, we don't come here at all.
No, and honestly, on our last trip, it was raining a lot. So that's why, a big reason why.
Yeah, for sure. But if you do have littles that love animals, this is definitely worth a visit. Note that the train doesn't run all day. It usually starts mid-morning around 10 o'clock or so. And it stops mid-afternoon right around 4:30. So it won't be open, first thing in the morning. And it will close before park close. Just something to keep in mind, if that sounds like something that you're going to want to check out.
Yeah, that's right. And then coming in at number 5 is Discovery Island. Like we were saying before, this is the hub at Animal Kingdom. That's where all the other lands are going to branch off from. Having said that, that's not all it is. There are actually some things to do here. So starting with the Tree of Life, you'll definitely want to take a photo of it and then get your photo taken in front of it. It's really something. It's absolutely beautiful, outstanding architecture, essentially,
for sure.
for that.
Yeah.
The tree itself is not real, so that is good to know. But when you get closer, you're going to notice that the trunk and the branches have intricate carvings of many different animals. It's really hard to put it into words. It's just absolutely beautiful and so well done. Outside of Cinderella Castle, this is probably my favorite weenie. It's really, really stunning, the amount of detail that went into everything. I think we even saw a behind the scenes of Animal Kingdom one time, and it was really cool just to see everything that went into it.
Like on YouTube or something?
Yeah, I think we were watching that. I can't remember. Or it was even like behind
like
the attraction or Imagineering.
Behind the attraction or Imagineering story or one of those shows.
I cannot remember the head Imagineer who did up Animal Kingdom. He's the guy
Joe
with
Rohde.
Yeah, Joe Rohde. He's got the big earrings and the big holes in his ears, and he does a phenomenal job. He's very impressive.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And actually, like still at the Tree of Life, I love actually, one of my favorite things to do is to grab a coffee from Creature Comforts, which is the Starbucks location there. And there's like a walking path that is right at the back of the tree, and that's like kind of along the water there. Mm-hmm. And I just like, sipping my coffee, looking up at the tree, seeing what I can spot that I maybe have not seen before.
Can't go wrong.
Yep, exactly. Like Lucy said, it's just really, really beautiful. But it's not just that. It also houses an attraction in its base. So it used to be home to It's Tough to Be a Bug, which was a Bug's Life themed kind of show. But it was recently reimagined into Zootopia, Better Zoogether. And we actually haven't seen this show yet. But like I was saying before, I intend to definitely go see it in a couple of weeks when I'm there for Marathon Weekend. It's apparently pretty good. So that's promising. And I do love Zootopia. And we just saw Zootopia 2 with the kids, which was cute. And not for nothing, but there's also a Judy Hopps and a Nick Wilde meet and greet at the front of the Tree of Life now as well, which replaced the Up characters. I'm blanking on the names. Doug and Russell. Yep.
Yeah, there you go. And then right in front of the tree, you also have the Winged Encounters. The Kingdom Takes Flight. This is a cast member-led show that happens several times throughout the day where the macaws that live at Animal Kingdom are going to come around and interact with the cast members. It's really, really something to see. You can actually learn even more about it again from the magic of Disney's Animal Kingdom on Disney+. Highly recommend this
that's a
episode.
Plug for the show, I guess.
Yes.
You should definitely go check it out.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
it is very good. Yeah.
Yes. They're free flying, meaning they're just kind of out and about, but they are trained, and it's really something to see for sure. So we definitely recommend checking that out. I love it. They usually come zooming right just below, totally. Just above your head.
Yeah.
And
there's like perches, or they'll come right
cool.
like on the cast member. They have like a arm thing.
That's right.
Yeah,
totally. It's very cool to see.
Very, very cool. We're not doing it justice, but definitely worth checking out. And not far from there, on the walkway that leads to Asia from Discovery Island, is Adventurers Outpost. This is where you're going to be able to meet Mickey and Minnie in their kind of safari attire, which is pretty cute. Aside from that, there are other kind of animals that live in the paths around the Tree of Life, kind of like the same situation as Oasis. So you can check those out as well when you're exploring the area. You're going to see things like flamingos and kangaroos, among a few others. For dining, you've also got several options here on Discovery Island. So to the left of the tree, closest to Africa, you have Terra Treats. This is essentially a hot dog stand, right? So a couple different hot dogs and some drinks. And next to it is Creature Comforts, like I was saying, which is the Starbucks location in the park. So yeah, just the standard Starbucks offerings. Yeah,
that's right. And then just down from there, you've got Pizzafari, which is the quick service restaurant that serves pizza, pasta, and salad, among a few other options. The pizza isn't the best here, so we definitely wouldn't prioritize this over some of the other options we'll mention. mention. And on that note, just beside Pete Safari is Tiffin's, which is the signature table service restaurant with a menu that has African, Asian, and Latin-inspired dishes. It is an absolutely beautiful restaurant with delicious options, including a bread service that is really good. Not as good as Sanaa over at Animal Kingdom Lodge, but still very good.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
One of our favorite places to eat and relax at anywhere on property is actually at the attached lounge, which is named the Nomad Lounge. This place is not a secret, unfortunately. It's really well known how good it is, and it can be very hard to snag a table here, especially during busier times. There are no advanced dining reservations, only a walk-up wait list, which does fill up. But if you are able to get a table here, we definitely recommend the patio because it overlooks the water that splits Discovery Island and the Pandora section of the park. And it's just a really great place to just stop for a drink and some light bites. They actually have a really good menu here. Possibly the best churros at the East Coast parks and a really good selection of drinks here. We've tried a few of them and all were really delicious.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
Plus, you can get some of the menu items from Tiffin's next door, including that bread service.
Yeah, agreed. It's a great place just to kind of stop for a snack.
We always love to stop here.
Yeah, for sure. If we can, we definitely do it every trip. And we have come here with the kids too.
Yep.
Yeah. Across the way on the other side of the Tree of Life, you've got Isle of Java, where you can get Mickey cinnamon rolls, pretzels, churros, and a small selection of drinks. And right next to it is another heavy hitter, which is Flame Tree Barbecue. This is a fan favorite. It's a quick service restaurant, which has good kind of barbecue options. So I think baked mac and cheese with pulled pork, among many other options. There's also covered seating here, which is really nice. It's kind of tiered. So you have like a higher area, and then there's steps down, and then there's more seating kind of that overlooks the water, which is a really, really nice spot to kind of bring your food to and just hang out for a little while.
Honestly, like this restaurant, I really like it. We have eaten here. Unfortunately, there's another quick service restaurant that beats this one out, so we tend to go to that one.
Yeah.
But I think we should switch it up sometimes and go back to this one more often
because
it's been a minute
since
really
we've been to Flame Tree, you're right, because we do Satu'li Canteen is what you're talking about.
Yes, I didn't know if you wanted me to say it or not, but we'll get more into it.
We're going to get to it, but yes, you're right. We do tend to hover to Satu'li. Yeah, you're right. And then up from there is Smiling Crocodile, which has pulled pork as well, and chicken arepas. And not far from here is where you're going to find 8 Spoon Cafe, which has that baked mac and cheese with pulled pork, which is similar to what you have at Flame Tree Barbecue. It's just a smaller portion. So it's a good snack to have alone or to share, right? Which is kind of nice. And then, of course, recently they've added the buffalo chicken chips that used to be found at Trilo Bites before that closed permanently, which is also a really tasty treat. So it's nice that it survived the closure. Yeah.
They must have had enough people constantly purchasing it to make it worth it.
It's a popular snack. We've had that a couple times.
Delicious.
They're super good. Yeah.
Yeah, so you definitely have a lot of dining options on Discovery Island for sure. And then outside of that, you do have the main merchandise stores in the park here as well, all next to each other across from the Tree of Life. And this is Discovery Trading Company, Riverside Depot, and Island Mercantile, where you'll be able to find pretty much anything you could be looking for, including Animal Kingdom exclusive merch. And coming in at number 4, but not for much longer, is Dinoland USA. So much of its offerings have closed in recent months, and that trend will continue in the coming months as everything is shut down for the massive retheme of the entire land. The dinosaur attraction is being reimagined to the Indiana Jones themed ride, and the whole land will get a Tropical Americas theme, and it'll feature 2 Encanto themed attractions, with one of them featuring the Casita. A large quick service restaurant is also going to be going in here, and we can reasonably assume that there's going to be other offerings like meet and greets and whatnot. I wouldn't even be surprised if maybe there's a merchandise store. I'm just guessing.
Oh, for sure there's going to be merchandise. I'm assuming there's like whenever you come out of Casita, it's going to spit you out in a gift shop.
As it does in every other land.
Yeah.
But currently as it stands, it is still Dinoland USA as of today.
Yeah, for sure. And when it does get its rethemed, it might,
end
up higher in our rankings. But as of right now, that's where it is. And we know we're going to catch heat for that, right? Because we know, a lot of people are going to be really sad to see it go. We're not, right? We think that Indiana Jones is going to be kind of a much more fun IP.
Agreed.
For the land and the ride in general. And we love Encanto, and so do the kids. So it's going to be nice to see that going in as well. I think it's going to be good for Animal Kingdom kind of as a whole. So we're really looking forward to it. Having said that, for guests who have been coming to Animal Kingdom for a really long time, we know that there's a nostalgia kind of aspect to that. So we totally get that. So if that's you, we understand.
Yeah.
But as of this recording, like Lucy said, you still have Dinosaur there, which is fun and thrilling, and many people actually really like it. The IP won't resonate with guests who didn't grow up with it, right? But the ride system is great. And when it's Indiana Jones, it's going to be way more popular. It's like, the ride system over in Disneyland for their Indiana Jones is awesome.
It is awesome.
Super. Yeah. I think it's a much superior attraction out there. So even if it's just something close to that, it's going to be a really good treatment for Walt Disney World.
Yeah, I agree.
And then still in this area, it does belong to Dinoland USA. You also have Finding Nemo, The Big Blue and Beyond. This is just over 20 minutes long. It features actors, puppets, dancing, singing, and it's a really delightful show that you should definitely check out.
I will admit we probably walked by this often but without ever checking it out. And then one day we finally did and we were like, oh.
Yeah. And it used to be much longer.
Very pleasantly surprised.
It used to be much longer. They updated the show and they made
That's
it
right.
essentially a tighter storyline. So yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely gets a little forgotten sometimes because it's just way out there, but it's 100% worth it. And then for dining, all you have left is Restaurantosaurus. This is the quick service restaurant with burgers, chicken strips, among a few other options as well. They usually have a cookie ice cream sandwich here with fresh cookies, which can be a really fun dessert as well. But yeah, Triceratops Spin, the Boneyard, Trilobites, Chester and Hester's, all of these offerings have now closed permanently. So that's pretty much all that's left in Dinoland. We will say that if you do have a trip coming up, make sure to venture over there because it's going to fade into history very soon. Ride Dinosaur one more time.
Into extinction. Yeah.
But nothing's going to happen with the Finding Nemo show. I think that still stays. Yeah.
As far as I know, that's not going anywhere. Yeah. And yeah, like I said, I'm going to be definitely riding Dinosaur for the last time in January, and I might grab something at Restaurantosaurus just to say that I did.
Yeah.
And then coming in at number 3, we're slotting Asia. So this is behind and to the right of the Tree of Life. The theming in this land is actually really well done. Imagineers, when they were designing the land, actually traveled to the Himalayas, and you can definitely feel that theming in the land and what I imagined places like Nepal would look like, right? I've never been, obviously, but yeah, just the buildings, the flags that are kind of hanging overhead, just the whole space definitely feels authentic. Again,
I agree.
This is from a lens of people who have never traveled there, but
who have seen photos.
Yes,
though.
Exactly. It definitely feels like it's legit, right? And then the headliner attraction in this land is Expedition Everest, Legend of the Forbidden Mountain. The queue has a bunch of props and artifacts as well from the Himalayas and just kind of climbing paraphernalia. Like I said, it's just really well themed. It's a thrill coaster for sure. So think speed, thrills, and also a backward portion, which kind of gets you by surprise, but it's fun and it's fast. It's one of our favorite coasters kind of in all of Walt Disney World.
Agreed.
And it's sometimes get a long way, but usually most of the year, it's actually pretty manageable, which is nice.
We usually get to ride it 3 or 4 times in a row if we get there early enough.
Yeah.
Before ever even using an express pass.
That's right.
Our kids absolutely
not
love...
Express Pass. It's Lightning Lane.
Yes, exactly.
Because we were talking about Universal
right.
just a couple episodes ago.
But our kids absolutely love this one. This is probably one of their favorites. They could ride this over and over and over.
Our usual kind of morning is we'll rope drop Flight of Passage. We'll walk to not Flight of Passage, but Navi River Journey right after. Then we'll go to Kilimanjaro Safaris. We like to go early when the kind of animals.
That's when you should go.
When they're out and about, right? When it's not too hot. And then we zip over to Asia and do.
I'm not kidding you.
Usually,
we probably ride it
2, 3, 4 times.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
It's such a fun roller coaster.
Sure.
I give it 10 out of 10. I just love that one.
Definitely. Super good.
Here you're also going to find Kali River Rapids, which is a water raft. You board a raft and then the attraction itself, it isn't super well themed or super long actually, but it does get you very soaked. On a hot and humid day, it can be really fun and refreshing, especially if you're wearing quick drying stuff.
Yep.
Don't wear jean shorts like I have many a times on this ride.
Takes a bit to dry.
Yes, it does. But during chillier times, you're definitely going to want to skip this one. Oliver absolutely, with a passion, hates being wet in his clothes. That's a big pet peeve for him.
Sure.
So it's
especially
pretty much
my
a skip
shoes
anytime.
and socks. Yeah.
We did it once with the kids. And our son was also like, ugh, not again. I don't want to do that again. He's
like me. Yeah. Hard pass outside of the hottest times of year.
And even then, I think we don't always dive. It's just not our favorite. And then deeper in the land, you have the Maharaja Jungle Trek, which is a walking trail where you're going to be able to see tigers, Komodo dragons, bats, birds, among a few other animals. It's actually a really nice walking trail that's not too long, so it's definitely worth doing. And then not far from here, you also have the Feathered Friends in Flight. This is a show inside of a small outdoor amphitheater where cast members will have their birds do tricks like untie shoes, collect money from the people in the audience, among other fun tricks. This is actually a really cool show to watch, and it's fun for the whole family. The birds like swoop in right above your head. It's just very interactive and very fun. There are several show times throughout the day, and we definitely recommend this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Super, super good.
Yeah.
And then for dining, you have the Thirsty River Bar and Trek Snacks, which has a handful of drinks. That's back over near Everest. And then next to that, you also have the Anandapur Ice Cream Truck, which has soft serve, floats, and a fun Yeti sundae as well. For table service, you have Yak and Yeti. It's a decent spot serving up a menu of kind of think like Pan-Asian or, Asian and American cuisine. Yeah. There are some fun options here that's going to be a departure from kind of your usual park offerings. Plus, the theming inside is actually really fun. They also have the attached Yak and Yeti Local Foods Cafe, which is essentially a quick service counter or like window, essentially, where you can get some of the options from the restaurant, like fried rice, egg rolls, Korean ribs, teriyaki chicken, among a few other options. And then across from there, you have the Joffrey's Cart, which is officially named the Royal Anandapur Tea Company. But yeah, you can get just coffee, donuts, they're the standard Joffrey's offerings over there.
There's always those big donuts.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, exactly. Next to that is Drinkwalla, which has a handful of drinks and snacks. And then further up the walkway towards Africa is Warang Outpost. Here you can get some Dole Whip and, a few other frozen treats. And then right across from that is Mr. Kamal's. So this is actually a hidden gem. They have a tiny little menu. So chicken dumplings the dumplings are decent, but what you really want to come here for are the fries that are really tasty. They're served with sriracha mayo. And if you're craving really good fries, this is should be a must stop. And then lastly, across from that is the Caravan Road, which has frozen treats like kakigori, which is that kind of shaved ice with flavoring.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then for shops, you have the Circazong Bazaar, which is a gift shop for Everest. You also have the Yak and Yeti Bakatur Market and Mandale, which has some fun and unique souvenirs. Asia is definitely a solid land. The great attraction of Everest, decent dining, and then just really good theming all in all.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, coming in at number 2, we have Africa. This is another area that is very well themed. You're going to find yourself in Harambe, which is a fictional village inspired by actual places in East Africa. You have signs that are in Swahili, thatched roofs on the buildings. They're all sandstone color, and the electrical wiring is exposed and can be seen outside of the building. It's hard to really capture in words the level of detail in this land, but again, it just feels very authentic.
Agreed, totally. Yeah. Absolutely. It's so well done.
And then for attractions, you have one of our absolute favorites, which is the Kilimanjaro Safaris. Here you're going to board an open-air truck and take a guided tour on the paths around the savannah at the park. It's roughly about a 20 to 30-minute ride, depending on any animal delays, which there are often animal delays.
Giraffic jams, like they say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Your driver is going to narrate your tour and point out any sightings and give you some really fun facts as well. They are very knowledgeable.
For sure.
The drivers. They're impressive.
For sure. It reminds me a bit of Skippers in the sense that, depending on which driver you get, you can have a really, really good experience. Yep. Not that, all drivers are good, but like some are
extra.
Yeah. Super well spoken, right?
Absolutely.
So they make it fun. Yeah.
You're likely going to see giraffes, zebras, hippos, crocodiles, elephants, rhinos, lions, just to name a few. Typically speaking, you're going to see the animals more early in the morning or late in the evening, which is relative because Animal Kingdom usually closes early, but that's when it's just cooler and the animals tend to just be more active then, especially in the morning. We always find that they're awesome in the morning.
Yeah, for sure. Because Animal Kingdom usually opens 8 o'clock, which means early entry is 7:30. If you're going like when the park opens at 8 o'clock, it's
it's the right time to go.
Yeah, exactly. So aside from that, right next to Kilimanjaro Safaris, you also have the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail. This is another walking trail that gives you essentially closer views of the gorillas that live at Animal Kingdom. This is also 100% worth your time, and we definitely suggest making time for this during your Animal Kingdom day. After you get off Kilimanjaro Safaris is probably the perfect time because it spits you out right there. And also just quickly, all of the animal tours in this park also kick off from the front of Kilimanjaro Safaris. There's a little kiosk there. So that's where you're going to check in for Wild Africa Check, Caring for Giants, and Up Close with Rhinos. And by the way, all are worth doing. Note that they are an extra cost. Caring for Giants and Up Close with Rhinos isn't too bad. I think it's like $30 or $40 per person.
Like that,
but Wild Africa Check is quite expensive. Like I think it's upward of $200 per person.
Yes,
so
that's
definitely not cheap.
Yeah, that's right. You did it last year.
That's right. Yeah, it was a phenomenal experience. I definitely recommend it. But yeah, like I'm saying, it's not cheap. So it's a splurge. But yeah, if it's in the budget, I definitely recommend it. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want to do it at some point in my life eventually.
Okay. Next trip, it's just you and me. We'll go.
There you go.
All right.
Okay, so Africa is also home to the best show at Walt Disney World, in our opinion, and this is Festival of the Lion King. This show has its own indoor theater with bleacher seating. It actually does fit quite a lot of guests, and it's so popular that it often does fill up every single show. The show is about 30 minutes or so, factoring the time it takes to seat everyone. It features dancing, singing, acrobatics, fire-breathing, larger-than-life puppets. Absolutely amazing. It is our favorite and many guest favorites for good reason. It's a phenomenal show that you should definitely see during your park day. If not, we dare say you are missing out.
Yes, we don't often say that, but
good.
Don't miss it. Yeah, it's really, really good.
If you missed it and then you go back one day, you'll be like, oh my gosh,
I wish I would have came sooner. Yeah.
It's amazing.
So don't let that be you. Go see it. For dining, normally you have Harambe Market, which is currently actually closed for temporary refurbishments. But across from that, you have Zuri's Sweet Shops, where you can get a ton of kind of bakery and confectionery items. Actually, you can also get the Werther's Original Treats here. Some of the ones that you can actually also find at Caramel Kuche over in Epcot. So
popcorn?
No, I don't think popcorn, but like those butter bars and like some of like the cookies and stuff. So yeah, for sure. And around the corner, you have Harambe Fruit Market that has, different options, but it has a ton of fresh fruit, which can sometimes be hard to find in the park. So if you're looking for, like bananas or apples or whatnot for your kids.
For $10.
Yeah. No, they're not that expensive, but they are more expensive than what they would be if you bought them at the
I'm
grocery
just kidding.
store.
I always just say we like to actually buy bananas sometimes, and we did at Universal.
Yeah.
It's like, you buy
a bushel of bananas at home
here is like $2, and it was $2 a banana.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, not far from there is also Kusafiri Coffee Shop and Bakery. So it has a few breakfast options and a couple of lunch and dinner options as well. So things like wraps and bowls and whatnot. And then right next door is Tusker House, which is a table service character dining experience that does breakfast and dinner. It also does lunch, I guess. And it has a decent selection of American options as well as some African-inspired dishes, which is definitely going to appeal to some guests for sure, right? And you're also going to get to meet and greet with Mickey, Donald, Daisy, and Goofy, all in their safari gear, which is super cute.
Agreed. And then attached to Tusker House is the Dawa Bar, which is an open air bar where you can have a nice cocktail or drink. And it's just a really nice spot right around the corner from the Festival of the Lion King Theater. And then directly across from that is the Tamu Tamu Refreshments, which has that absolutely delicious pineapple crisp sundae, among a few other sweet treats. And then this one rivals the pineapple upside cake from Aloha Isle over at Magic Kingdom. And actually, we would honestly say this one's probably better and a little bit more substantial. If you haven't yet, definitely put that on your list of things to try.
For sure. I would say that, this treat's a little bit better than that upside down cake over at Aloha Isle, for sure. Yeah,
very good.
Mm-hmm.
And then next to Tamu Tamu is the Mahindi popcorn stand, which is self-explanatory.
Popcorn and popcorn buckets.
Exactly. Yep. And then for merchandise, you have the Zawani Traders and the Mombasa Marketplace, which all have very fun and unique merch, as well as your typical Disney offerings. You also have the Maria Souvenirs and the Africa Hub Cart as well.
Yeah, that's right. Between, Kilimanjaro Safaris and the Festival of the Lion King, as well as some really good dining and snacks, we really love the Africa section of this park. Having said that, Asia and Africa are pretty much neck and neck.
They are,
I think that for me, specifically, what edges out Africa above Asia is the Festival of the Lion King.
Yeah, I would agree.
Really, really good show, but we do really love both lands. And with that, only one land left, right? So it's coming. Number one is, surprising to no one, and that's Pandora World of Avatar. So this might be, just the best themed land in all of Walt Disney World. Like, counting Galaxy's Edge, like just above all.
Yep.
Everything in this land is themed. So the music, the grounds, the walls, the floating mountains above. And they did that not to shatter the magic, but they use like rebar inside the vines to make it look like it's vines. You don't know that it's rebar. But anyways, long story short, it does look like it's floating. They've like achieved 100%. It. It looks real. And just wherever you look, rather, there's just like fun details everywhere to uncover. This is this is an Imagineering marvel, right? So it's peak performance for the folks who designed these lands because it's just that good.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. The theming is second to none. It was perfectly executed, and we love, love, love this land. For attractions, the headliner and the only single pass in the park is Flight of Passage. The queue for this one is just as themed as the rest of the land, and we recommend waiting in the standby queue at least once so that you can just take it all in. The ride itself is a simulator that has you board a ride vehicle that kind of looks like a motorcycle seat. You get 3D glasses, and then you take flight on a Banshee. It's a fun, beautiful, and thrilling attraction. We both love it, and our kids love it as well. It's one of our absolute favorites anywhere on property and 100% worth doing. Right next door, you have the Navi River Journey. This is a beautiful attraction, and it features one of the best and biggest animatronics on property, a large shaman that is just so well done. The queue here is nothing to write home about, I will say that, but you definitely should check this one out at least once while you are there.
Yeah, agreed, for sure. Definitely a beautiful attraction. And yeah, that's
so many
shaman.
colors too for sure. In that ride. And then just very peaceful, soothing. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. And it does sometimes get a long wait. So just something to be mindful of. If you do purchase MultiPass for Animal Kingdom, this is definitely a good use of your lightning lane.
Agreed.
And then for dining here, you have Satu'li Canteen that we alluded to earlier, right? It's a massive quick service restaurant that has some fun options like the popular cheeseburger pods, and then also some healthier options like protein bowls and salads. The theming inside is fun. And we, like Lucy was saying, we've had lunch here several times on our Animal Kingdom day. And then just outside of Satu'li Canteen is Pongu Pongu. This is going to be where you're going to find the most popular Pongo Lumpia, which is a sweet take on a spring roll. So these essentially have like small pieces of pineapple and cream cheese. Lots of folks really swear by these. We're personally not huge fans, but if that sounds appealing to you, this is where you're going to find them.
Yeah, we're not really big fans of them, like Oliver said, but some people do love them, so to each their own.
Exactly, yeah.
And then for shopping, you have Wing Traders, which is the gift shop for Flight of Passage, and then you also have the Colors Mo'ara near the entrance of the land. And then outside of that, there's not other shops or anything else in the land, but what we will say is that if you're at the park in the winter, when the sun goes down earlier, it's 100% worth staying late to see Pandora after dark. The whole land comes alive with bioluminescence. All of the elements just come to life just like in the movie. But during summertime, the park does close before it gets dark, so you're not going to be able to see it. You do have to kind of time it with that time of year to see it. But if you are there at the right time, definitely make time to see all of that at nighttime.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with that. And actually, I'm going to be there,
you are.
Like I said, in a couple of weeks in January. So I'm definitely going to see if I can catch Pandora
Absolutely.
After Dark.
Yeah. Get some good video.
Yeah, exactly. So there it is. That's our rankings for the Animal Kingdom lands, right? As always, we know these rankings are very subjective, right? So you might totally agree with us or you might disagree with us outright, and that's okay, right? We always say, there's something for everyone at Walt Disney World, and it would be a drag, I guess, if everyone liked the same things or if everyone vacationed the same way. So different strokes for different folks, and that's totally cool.
And we highly recommend not skipping Animal Kingdom. I know so many people that are like, I think we'll just skip Animal Kingdom.
I know a good friend of mine went a few years ago, actually, and he was like, oh yeah, we went, but it was basically like a zoo. And I'm like, well, what'd you think of Avatar? He goes, what?
Oh,
I'm like the Pandora land. I'm like, on your left.
He
like
didn't
when
even make
he
it
didn't
there.
even go in
That's
there. I was like,
the
no,
sad part.
I'm like,
Exactly.
you missed the best part of that park.
My cousin, when they went a few years ago, she said that was her favorite park. So chill.
Oh, it is relaxed.
The vibes are great there. It's just such a beautiful park. Do not skip this one. I promise you will not regret going. So this actually concludes our ranking series for the lands at the 4 parks. We know we said that last week, poor little old Animal Kingdom, but we do love this park in case that didn't come across. We always say Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios for the rides, Epcot and Animal Kingdoms for the vibes.
Yeah, for sure.
We just don't ever feel stressed in this park. We just like strolling around, enjoying the ambiance, stopping at Nomad Lounge for a snack and a drink, and just being relaxed, essentially.
Yeah, absolutely.
And even on a busy day, it never feels overly busy there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
agreed. Yep. With that said, thank you for joining us today to talk Animal Kingdom. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss any future episodes. And as always, if you could leave us a rating and review, it would be greatly appreciated. If you choose to do so, you can leave reviews right on Apple Podcasts. And for Spotify, you can leave a rating.
You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Let's Go.to-Disney, as well as on our Facebook page, Let's Go to Disney. We share some helpful reels here as well as some fun ones. The link tree in the show notes will take you to all of our socials.
Have a great day, and we'll see you real soon.